Objection!
October 12th, Lord Lee Taylor, main exhibition hall.
Right, let's see if we can find some clues that might lead us to the bad guy.
But it doesn't look like anything has been disturbed. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same as it did last night.
Bad guy, huh?
Hey, you can't poke around here, pal. Oh, it's the guy. You can't poke your head around here, pal. Wait a minute, that voice. Oh, no, not him again. It's you, and I'm not the one who should be saying not again. Why is it every time something bad happens, you always show up, pal? I should be asking you that. Aren't there any other detectives? No, I should be asking you that. What are you doing hanging around here? Hey, I asked you first. Why are you here any... All right, we got it. Why don't you two kiss and make up already?
Hello, it's been a long time, Mr. Scruffy Detective.
Oh, it's you, little missy. Actually, my name is Gumshoe, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Now's a good chance for you to try to remember it right. And if it's too long for you, you can just call him Dick.
Okay, it's good to see you again, Mr. Detective Dick.
Yeah, good to see you again too, I guess. Detective Dick.
Mr. Detective Dick, can you tell us about what happened?
Oh, you're trying to remember my name. Atta girl, it's Gumshoe, okay? Anyway, the thief stole something called the Sacred Urn.
I know about that.
Oh, well, the criminal's name is Mask to Mask.
I know about that too.
Detective, can't you tell us something other than that? Oh, well, I guess I sorta kinda owe you guys in a way. The crime occurred last night at around 1:30 in the morning. How exactly do you know that? We got an emergency phone call from a guard at the scene of the crime, pal. He said the urn was just stolen. The scene of the crime? You mean here, right? Wrong. The urn was being kept under careful guard in the basement warehouse. Basement warehouse, huh?
So who was guarding the basement warehouse?
That guy, that's all. It's all his fault that the thief got away, pal. He solves one case and gets a swelled head, thinking that he's an ace detective. Ace detective? Hey, Detective Gumshoe, about this Mask to Mask. Is he famous? What? You're joking, right, Nick? Mask to Mask is the hottest thing since sliced bread. Sometimes he appears as a museum guard. Sometimes he appears as a big brown bear known to surprise unsuspecting victims. But underneath those disguises is the true Mask to Mask. So he's some kind of master of disguise, huh? And he only goes after the finest works of art, pal. Last night was his 5th heist. If Lord Lee Taylor had only cooperated, I could have caught him this time. What? Then you knew he was planning on stealing the Sacred Urn? Of course I did. The guy always sends his calling card before he steals something. Calling card, huh? They mentioned that on TV. So why do you call him an ace detective anyway? That's what he calls himself, pal. I didn't make it up. So, what's he like? Well, like I told you, Mask to Mask has made 5 heists so far. On the 4th heist, Mr. Ace Detective managed to get the stolen treasure back.
Wow, that's impressive. All by himself?
Yeah, I gotta admit it, pal. Maybe though he really is as good as he says. Every time the thief sends one of his calling cards, we send our men out on a stakeout. But none of us has ever gotten so much as a glimpse of the guy.
But Mr. Ace Detective was able to retrieve the stolen treasure from the thief.
Anyway, he's at the scene of the crime right now, looking for clues. So he's down in the basement warehouse, huh? So what's his calling card? Here it is. But don't show it to anyone, it's top secret, okay, pal? What's this mark on the front? That's Mask to Mask's signature emblem, pal. You could say it's his mark. All of his calling cards have got it on them. They didn't mention that on the newsflash. We're withholding that detail from the public for operational reasons. The only way we can tell if a calling card is real or not is by this emblem. Calling card add to the court record. That makes sense. When you get famous, there are always imitators.
Mr. Nick, if you work a little harder, maybe you can have your own copycat someday.
Thanks, I guess. October 12th, Lord Lee Taylor, basement warehouse. No matter how many times we come here, this place always gives me the chills. That's probably because it's air-conditioned to protect the art pieces, you know? Welcome to my private little banquet of chaos. Huh? What the heck does that mean? Oh... It's like the penguin's son. I'm afraid I have very little to offer, but please make yourself at home. Who are you anyways? Shh, silence. Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What do you mean? What do you see? ZVARRI. The truth has once again been eloquently revealed to me. A lawyer and a spirit medium. Neither very advanced at their trade. Am I wrong? Yikes, that's kind of scary. How did you know that? How, you say? The universal skeptic would say that how is nothing but a question of why. I'm a traveler of both time and space and a swimmer of dreams. Your nose is incredibly long. What is he talking about? I can't make heads or tails of it. Without further ado, let me fulfill what should be the first duty of any gentleman, and introduce myself. My name is Atme. Luke Atme. Ace Detective. Oh, hi. Don't let him intimidate you, Nick. Stand up and show him what you're made of. The name's Wright. Phoenix Wright. Right? Ace Attorney. I'm Maya Faye, a spirit medium.
And I'm Pearl Faye. I'm Mystic Maya's cousin and spirit medium Ace Apprentice.
Excellent. Well then, shall we begin our little game? Game? Why does the phrase one short of a baker's dozen come to mind with this guy? So are you really as famous as you say? Of course. For a lawyer, you have a rather shocking lack of knowledge about the world. I had no idea anyone was left in the city that had not heard of me. Look at me. I am Mask to Mask's arch enemy, the ace detective Luke Atme. At this moment, there are two mighty figures which loom large over this grand city. One embodies the nefarious force of darkness, the other the angelic cherubs of light. Boy, now I'm really lost. What is he saying, Nick? I have been personally on the heels of this villain since his first crime. After learning this criminal's patterns, I thwarted his very lightest loathsome larceny. I even returned the target of his tyranny, the portrait of Magina, to the crime scene. And I did it all by myself. I took it back from mask to mask. With my brawny mind and my brilliant muscles. Yeah, they mentioned it on the news in the Great People Around the World segment. They said that the museum gave you an incredible jewel as a reward. Well, compared to the treasure that I retrieved for them, it's not much. So, in the end, the only thing that makes you great is your own self-praise. Oh, tell us what you know about Mask to Mask, and keep it simple, please. Like about how I have devoted my life to thwarting his dastardly deeds. Last night, here in the bowels of the store, we were locked in a most glorious battle. I see. Huh? Hang on a second. You were here last night, here in Lordly Taylor? Naturally, wherever Damask goes, you will find Atme, laying his elegant traps. Elegant traps, more like Damask out eleganced you and made a beautiful getaway. But this time I allowed him to escape with the illusion of victory. I wonder if I should ask him about what happened last night in more detail. Can you tell us exactly what happened here last night? But of course, after all, I always say there should be no secrets between aces. Flattery will get you nowhere, Pinocchio. I first received the request for my services 20 days ago, and it was 10 days ago that we received Mask to Mask calling card. Huh? You were hired before the calling card even arrived? Yes, you see, the person who hired me is quite rigorous and thorough. That's Adrian for you. A mere 10 days after hiring me, her worst premonitions were realized. A calling card arrived, right? Yes, so ace detective that I am, I set up a trap for the thief right in the warehouse. And waited for him. Alone. Alone? But why? Why didn't you go to the police for help? Ridiculous. Why would I seek help from such a singularly useless group of nincompoops? You've got a lot of nerve, after all. It was you that let Damask get away. I always operate alone and concealed, out of sight of others. Concealed? Precisely. Even the guards on duty here were unaware of my presence. To fool your enemies, first you must fool your friends. It's my own original proverb. Anyway, back to what happened last night. As I was saying, I hid here in the warehouse and waited for the thief to arrive. But I swear to you, not a solitary soul came through that entrance. Nevertheless, the sacred urn disappeared. But that's impossible. How could it just disappear? How, you ask? Don't be ridiculous, Sir Lawyer. If I knew the answer to that question, I wouldn't be here. For someone who's seriously messed up his own stakeout, he's rather full of himself.
So you're saying that even though no one came through those doors last night, our precious urn still somehow vanished from under your nose?
That's just not possible. Sir Lawyer, please refrain from such crude behavior, huh? What do you mean? This criminal is an artist. The crime scene is the canvas upon which he paints. Only I, Ace Detective Atme, have an eye in which educated enough to read the signs. Could you translate that for me, Nick? I think you pretty much said don't touch anything, amateurs. If there's something you wish to know about, you have but to ask Atme. I know everything there is to know about my rival Damask. What do I do now? Does he have any top secret information, stuff that only real crime buff would know? I'll think about what to ask while I listen to what Mr. Ace Detective has to say. Master Mask calling card. It's got his emblem printed on it, right? Quite impressive, but I would expect nothing less from my arch-rival. I'm surprised to see you in possession of such a top-secret piece of information. Well, we've got an ace lawyer and an ace spirit medium and an ace cousin apprentice here. Yes, indeed. I think I could learn to like you, my fellow ace professionals. I don't know if I really want this guy to like us ever. Well, Sir Lawyer, I've been told that you two are pursuing the mysterious thief. Well, I'm not sure I would say that. That's right. We're going to find the secret urn no matter what we have to do. Excellent. I will trust you. I permit you to take a look around while I investigate elsewhere. If perchance you should discover something of value, return them then to my office. My Office of Earthly Delights, the Atme Detective Agency. Office of Earthly Delights? Well, then, Sir Lawyer, if you'll excuse me, I have much to do. Wait a minute.
He's gone.
I don't like the idea of doing this guy's work for him. Come on, Nick. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Let's hurry up and investigate before he changes his mind.
I want to go to his office too. Take me with you, okay?
That pathetic-looking wooden box. Ah, that's the box that had the sacred urn in it. Don't touch it. There may be clues to the thief's identity on there. Ugh, I worked so hard to make that box. Huh? You made that poor excuse for a box, Maya? What's that supposed to mean?
That urn has always been on its stand in the winding way of Fey Manor, so there's no box suitable for it, Mr. Nick.
And I was so proud of it. Poor Maya. Maybe it'd have been better if Master Mask had taken the box too. Wow, this is awesome. What did Miss Andrews say it was called again? Shito. It's literally 7-branch sword in Japanese, or so says Miss Andrews. Whoa, it's pretty heavy. One hit, 7 times the fun. Pretty catchy, huh? I bet it's sell like hotcakes.
There's nothing about it that bothers me.
Wow, you're really firing on all cylinders today, aren't Pearly?
This sword wasn't Mystic Ami. Wasn't Mystic Ami holding it last night?
Ah. And another thing,
the sword wasn't bent last night like it is now.
You're right. Awesome, Pearly. I wouldn't expect any less from my little ace apprentice. The sword is bent, so it must mean last night someone used it somehow. Ah, I just thought of something. Maybe Detective Atme smashed Mask Damask with it. Like this. Ouch! What the heck? What do you think, Pearly?
I think it's even more bent than it was before.
Oh man, my head. My hair! Hey, Pearly, do you know what this is? It's a computer!
A computer? Oh, I've heard of those. It has such a cute name.
Looks like the computer is for storing data from the security camera. When someone comes in or out, blah blah.
It's probably the trap that the detective set up.
Let's see if we can find last night's data on this thing. We might even find a photo of Mask Damask. Let's see here. Man, I really stink at working these things.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick? You're sweating an awful lot.
I don't know how to pull up the photos. I had no idea you were so pathetic with high-tech stuff, Nick. Yeah, well, I managed to print out the camera data anyway. I guess I have to learn to crawl. You have to learn to crawl before you can walk, right, Nick? Yeah, sure. Anyway, it looks like the camera only went off once last night. Blair's camera went off once at 1 a.m. Look what you did, Nick. You spilled paint over here. I didn't do that. Well, it wasn't here last night. I would have noticed a color this outrageous.
But this paint has already dried up.
Well then, you should have cleaned it up before it dried, Nick. Paint doesn't dry that fast. Besides, I told you it wasn't me. God, Maya annoys me sometimes. Looks like it's been several days since it was spilt. Hey, look at this.
What is it?
There's some kind of shape left in the bottom... There's some kind of shape left in the bottom left side of the stain. Huh? You're right. I wonder what it could be. The box. This statue of Mystic Ami is so cool. I want a gold statue of myself. We could put it in the office. Hey, it's Wright and Co. How about a gold statue of me?
Mr. Nick, I'm sorry, but I noticed something strange.
Huh? What is it, Pearls?
The statue of Mystic Ami. Was this where it was last night?
I'm pretty sure it was closer to the door. Yeah, I think you're right. Great job, Pearly. I wouldn't expect anything less from an ace cousin. So the statue was moved on the night of the crime. It says Organi. No, it doesn't, Nick. It says organize. You just can't see the last two letters. Yeah, well, I guess no one else could read it either, because the place is a mess. Yeah, you must feel right at home, huh? But see, it's got paint on it. That pathetic looking box. Ugh! That box that had the sacred urn in it. Yep. It's got the paint. Set up to take a photo of anyone who goes around.
Mr. Nick, what's that big door over there?
Storeroom.